Tony Stark lied to us, and the truth about Iron Man's suit will shock you. Scientists just proved why his armor is impossible, but one terrifying breakthrough could change everything. Stick around, because the final revelation will make you question every Marvel movie. The real-world tech is closer than you think, and it's coming to rewrite the laws of physics. When Tony Stark stepped onto the world stage with his gleaming red and gold armor, the world witnessed more than just metal and circuits. It witnessed a revolution in artificial intelligence. Embedded in the heart of the Iron Man suit was Jarvis, short for just a rather very intelligent system, a marvel of coding that could think, react, and banter with its creator as if it were a living being. Unlike the voice assistants we carry around today, stuttering Alexa, clunky Siri, Jarvis was a symphony of intellect, quick wit, and unwavering loyalty, responding not just to Tony's commands but anticipating his needs. Want to fire up some high-frequency flares midair or break into an impromptu soundtrack at Mach speed? Jarvis was already a step ahead. Today's virtual assistants are toddlers compared to Jarvis' sophistication. While they manage grocery lists and set timers, Jarvis commanded a flying fortress. Sure, he wasn't infallible. Loud background roars during supersonic chases could sometimes muffle Stark's orders. But it's hard to scoff at a digital mind that outperforms human pilots. Real-world AI is inching closer. Systems today can pen TV scripts with mixed reviews and beat world champions at ancient board games. Meanwhile, institutions like DARPA, the Pentagon's think tank for tomorrow's warfare, are crafting AI-powered fighter jets capable of outmaneuvering seasoned aviators. Tony's dream of an AI co-pilot is no longer fiction. It's fast becoming prototype. And yet, we're still galaxies away from a Jarvis-level omniscient sidekick. If there's one universal dream etched into human DNA, it's the dream to fly. Not in cramped aluminum tubes at 35,000 feet, but with the unbridled freedom of a bird. When Stark engineered his armor, flight wasn't optional. It was foundational. The Mark II prototype took to the skies through brutal bursts of thrust from its boots, with stabilizers embedded in the palms to maintain equilibrium. It wasn't just functional, it was poetic, a man soaring like a meteor, cutting through clouds beside F-22 Raptors at supersonic velocities. Real-world innovators haven't been idle. The Gravity Jet suit, a brainchild of present-day tech dreamers, is a step toward that fantasy. Propelled by 5 microgas turbines gulping a gallon of fuel a minute, it can hover and maneuver using jets mounted on arms and a back thruster. But the glossy cinematic takeoffs and landings Tony achieves are a bit of an illusion. Without aerodynamic surfaces like wings or tail fins, horizontal flight would be an unstable mess, a recipe for dramatic mid-air wipeouts rather than graceful streaks across the sky. And abrupt stops? Tony's rapid deceleration maneuvers would likely leave a real human unconscious, if not worse. Verdict? Sure, you might hover a few feet above the ground, but defying gravity like Iron Man is a fantasy grounded by reality, for now. No Iron Man suit discussion is complete without marveling at the famous repulsors, Stark's multi-purpose hand cannons that blast dazzling beams of energy. The Marvel Cinematic Universe leaves the exact science vague, but physics raises skeptical eyebrows. By Newton's third law, every force demands an equal and opposite force. Firing repulsors should logically throw Tony backward with every shot. Sometimes we get a nod to realism. Stark's arm visibly recoils during some blasts, but more often, the action physics are shelved for cinematic flair. Real energy weapons, like the Navy's laser-based systems, operate quite differently. They fry circuits, disable drones, and burn through materials, but won't send enemies flying like action movie extras. The sheer concussive power behind Stark's beams, if they existed, would require monumental leaps in technology, or, let's face it, magic-level science. Verdict? Unless someone rewrites the laws of motion and energy, real-world repulsors remain firmly within comic book pages. The armor, that invincible carapace Stark dons, offers another tantalizing promise: near-impervious protection. In the movies, it laughs off tank shells, withstands machine-fire weapon fire, and shrugs at explosions. Engineers today build armor with titanium alloys and hardened composites, but even our best materials pale compared to the Iron Man standard. Gold, while flashy and corrosion-resistant, is heavy and impractical for flight. And though modern tanks boast armor over a foot thick, that's not something you can wear to your next Avengers meeting. Even if Stark's armor could resist projectiles, there's another brutal reality. inertia. Slamming into a wall or crash landing from 1,000 feet up would turn internal organs to mush, regardless of how tough the suit is outside. The kinetic energy has to go somewhere, and human bodies are notoriously bad at absorbing that kind of punishment. In short, you might survive the bullet, but gravity and momentum are unforgiving executioners. Verdict? You'll look awesome, but you're not walking away from that crash. Strength is another pillar of the Iron Man fantasy. Watching Stark hoist cars and punch through concrete suggests his suit multiplies human strength 100-fold. Lifting a car, about 1.5 metric tons, requires tens of thousands of newtons of force, well beyond unassisted human muscle. Modern science has begun flirting with powered exoskeletons, designed to augment strength for soldiers or factory workers. The dream of mechanical muscles is already peeking into reality. Companies like Sarcos Robotics are developing suits that allow humans to lift hundreds of pounds effortlessly. Verdict? Strength enhancement is no longer just comic book canon. It's climbing off the pages. The heartbeat of the Iron Man suit, the legendary arc reactor, feels like sorcery wrapped in titanium. Said to output 3 gigajoules per second, it's a miniaturized sun strapped to Stark's chest. 3 times more powerful than an average nuclear plant. It defies both scale and current scientific understanding. The closest real-world analogs involve fusion, the same process that powers the stars. Whether via cold fusion, a controversial pipe dream, or the more accepted hot fusion, which still evades containment, humanity is nowhere near fitting such monumental energy generation into a device smaller than a basketball, let alone a chest plate. Even if we miraculously cracked fusion miniaturization, managing the colossal heat byproducts would be another Herculean task. Even at a laughably optimistic 99% efficiency, the reactor would still generate enough waste heat to vaporize Stark and his armor in seconds. Radiation shielding, thermal management. It's a Pandora's box of engineering nightmares. Verdict? Don't hold your breath. So, is the Iron Man suit real, or could it ever be? Pieces of the puzzle are already scattering into reality. Jet-powered flight suits, AI co-pilots, exoskeletons. But assembling them all into one seamless, sky-slicing, world-saving package is a different story. The harsh truth is that today's technology can imitate fragments of Stark's genius, but the harmonious integration seen on the big screen remains tantalizingly out of reach. And with today's battery technology, where charging your smartphone feels like a daily ritual, expecting a wearable nuclear powerhouse that crosses oceans is pure science fiction. Still, the dream endures. And maybe that's the real genius of Iron Man. Not the metal, the flight, or the firepower, but the burning reminder that what seems impossible today might just be tomorrow's invention waiting to happen. So, is the Iron Man suit really possible? Or is it doomed by the laws of physics? Which piece of Stark tech would you want most in real life? Drop your wildest theories in the comments. I'll be debating the craziest ones. And if you're not subscribed yet, you're missing out. The next breakdown will expose a military project even crazier than the arc reactor. Hit that button before you go.